guys, welcome back to Most Amazing Top 5. I'm Court McGinley. Let's jump right into our list of the top 5 scary unsolved cases in Japan. Starting off in our number 5 spot, 7. Between 1975 and 1989, there were a total of 7 unsolved murders in the Saga prefecture. All of these cases were believed to be connected, as the victims were all killed in the same way. They were all strangled to death, they were all females, and 6 of the 7 victims went missing on a Wednesday. The only thing that was different about them was the age range, which was between 11 to 50 years old. There was only ever one man who was arrested and tried for these murders, but he was later found innocent, which leaves all of these murders officially unsolved. On top of that, the statute of limitations has expired for all of the victims except for the final 3. And at number 4, the Crematory chain. In 1992, between the months of June and July, 5 members of a motorcycle gang committed suicide within 0.7 miles of each other in Osaka. Packed suicides aren't exactly uncommon, but after examining the bodies, the police were convinced that this was staged to look like a packed suicide and that foul play was involved. 3 of the victims in particular gave them reasons to believe these deaths were against their will. For example, one of the young men had horizontal rope marks around his neck, whereas if this was a suicide, there would have been diagonal marks. Next, one of the girls was found with stab wounds on her neck and chest. And for the 3rd victim, he was found hanging from a chestnut tree, but police say there was no clear indication on how he climbed the tree prior to his death. It was then brought up that several of these young gang members reported being stalked at some point before the suicide, but no one was ever interviewed. And at number 3, Yukio Nishi. Yuki was a 5-year-old girl who disappeared during a celebration of Greenery Day on April 29, 2005. To celebrate this Japanese holiday, she and her family, along with about 60 other people, went to a bamboo shoot digging event. Yuki was digging up bamboo shoots with some of the other kids and went to show her mother the first one she found, and then she wandered off back into the forest to find some more. After 20 or so minutes passed, her mother realized that she was not with the other kids. Her mother got the other adults to help her look for her daughter. A few minutes later, after they couldn't find her, they called the police, who also contacted the fire department for extra assistance. They even brought a police dog to try and track her scent. The dog reached a spot in the nearby forest and then stopped. 4 other dogs were brought in, and all of them led the search party to the exact same spot. It's as though she just vanished. On top of the dogs and the police department, 3,000 people helped search for her, but there were no clues to go off of. There were no clothing shards, no blood, there weren't even any footprints to go off of. Still to this day, no trace of Yuki has been found. Coming in at number 2, Inokashira Park. Back in 1994, on April 23rd, a garbage bag was found by a cleaning staff member of Tokyo's Inokashira Park. The staff member noticed a horrible smell coming from the bag. She assumed it was raw fish. But when her colleague went to open the bag, she glanced inside and saw a human ankle. But that wasn't all. Along with the ankle, there were 24 pieces of human flesh, including 2 hands, 2 feet, and a shoulder. To make this case even weirder, if that's even possible, all of the parts were completely drained of blood, and each piece of flesh was cut out at exactly 20 centimeters. The police were called in, an autopsy was performed, however the cause of death was deemed unknown. Also, a third of the body, including her head, were never found. 3 days after the body parts were discovered, they were identified as belonging to 35-year-old architect named Shichi Kawamura. He was last seen on April 21st, so 2 days before the body parts were discovered, and lived 5 minutes from the park. The police were determined to find this man's killer. They even questioned thousands of people. During these interviews, they found out that one witness saw 2 suspicious men walking in the park carrying a plastic bag around 4 a.m. on the day the body was found. Police assumed that he was struck by a car and that the killers cut him up to get rid of the body. But that's just speculation, and to this day, this case remains unsolved. And in at number 1, Baby on Board. This is a really messed up and disgusting story. Back in 1988, on March 18th, a man returned home to his apartment in Nagoya. Oddly, when he got to his front door, he noticed it was unlocked and all the lights were off. Once inside, he changed his clothes and began to get ready for bed. It was then that he heard a baby crying. He followed the sound and came across the mutilated body of his 27-year-old pregnant wife with his now newborn son laying at her feet. His wife was bound and strangled to death. After she was dead, it was suspected that the killer then proceeded to cut her stomach open and deliver the baby. He even cut the umbilical cord. The infant somehow survived, but no one ever found out who committed this horrible crime. The police came to investigate, and they believed that the wife was caught off guard in her home after the intruder broke in through the front door. After a short struggle, the intruder wrapped an electrical cord around the woman's neck and suffocated her. He then cut a vertical 38-centimeter slit in her belly and removed the live baby. He cut the umbilical cord, took some money from the woman's purse, and then left. Her husband didn't return home until hours later. Upon inspection of her body, it was noticed that something had been crammed into the now empty cavity in her stomach. It turns out the intruder put a phone and car keys into the hole in the woman's stomach where the baby used to be. While their story was told, the names of this husband and wife were never publicly released by the police. Alright, and there you have it. That's our list of the top 5 scary unsolved cases in Japan. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what other lists you'd like to see down below. Don't forget to show us some love by giving this video a big thumbs up and subscribing to our channel, and I will catch you guys in the next one.